Hey folks, Dreaming Crow here, bringing another video to you. A little late this evening. I had a few things happening here. Before we jump into the discussion topic tonight, I just want to kindly remind you all, please hit the subscribe button below if you want to be kept informed of any new videos that I may put out here in the future. Also, if you already are a subscriber, I appreciate that very much. Thank you very much for joining my channel and learning a little bit more about me and the topics that I discuss. And finally, if you do like this video, I would appreciate it very much. Hit that like button down below and leave me some comments, positive or negative, whichever one helps me to improve my channel greatly. And so without further ado, I think we're just going to go ahead and jump into the video here. Really quick, the video I'm doing is on Daemonic Pacts, actually. The idea came from reading an article called Pact with Lucifer by Anthology Mason, and I got that from reading the articles here out of the Anthology of Sorcery by Bulg.co. I did purchase this off of Amazon a number of months back. I believe it was $49 for the 3-volume edition. You can purchase the editions separately if you like. However, they are a little more expensive buying them separately. I believe they're about $27 a piece. This is the first article that I'm going to be doing a video on, and as I get some more articles read, I'll be doing more videos on those as well, and eventually I'll be doing a book review on Anthology of Sorcery, hopefully within a couple of weeks here. But with that, I'm just going to go ahead and jump into the discussion. First of all, when we think of demonic pacts, a lot of us, at least those of us that are familiar with screenplay and stuff like that, we're familiar with the most notable play that consists of Dr. Faust. Back in the 16th century, there's a play written where the character Dr. Faust summons a demon by the name of Mephistopheles, and in exchange for selling his soul, he gains knowledge and power for like a period of 20 years, after which time his soul is relinquished, and then he's spent to spend an eternity in hell at that point. This is kind of what a lot of people think of when they think of demonic pacts. But you know, the word demonic, or daemon, which is spelled D-A-E-M-O-N, actually means divine intelligence, and that's the original meaning of the word. Okay, daemons have a lot to gain from helping us to achieve our own ascension into higher states of awareness and development. So, you know, working with demons and forming pacts with them is very beneficial for both of us, you know, both, you know, demons and ourselves. You know, a lot of people, when they hear the word pact or demonic pact, you know, a lot of things come to mind, simply because of Christianity. Society just has this very awkward idea of what a demonic pact, you know, actually is. And on top of that, you know, Hollywood fiction portrays the idea of demonic pacts just completely all wrong. Okay, that type of stuff is all fiction based and is obviously meant for all sorts of entertainment. So, you know, generally you have somebody, they pick up this dusty old tome and they read some arcane words, and you know, a demon shows up, and then they say, hey, you know, for my soul, you know, I want you to provide me with this, this, and this, and then they sign their name in blood, and then whatever, the exchange is done, and then um, they're supposed to get whatever they want simply by just giving up their soul. Excuse me. But that again, that's really not how pacts work. And we're going to go ahead and jump into the discussion as far as what types of pacts there are. Um, the different types as far as what kind of elements make up a pact, and if you choose you want to do this, you could go ahead and do this. Now the question on your mind, or some people's mind might be, is do I need to make a pact at all? The answer is no. Nobody has to make any type of demonic pact if they don't want to, okay? But if you do, of course, keep listening to the discussion here, and we'll get into that. So, literally, a pact is a demonic pact is something that is made between you and the demon itself, okay? You state that you will give the demon something specific in exchange for something specific. In other words, quid pro quo. We've heard this legal term before. Quid pro quo means, this for that, or, an exchange of a good or service for another good or service, okay? When you decide to make this exchange with the demon, you decide what type of, what's it going to consist of, okay? Now, when you make offerings for these pacts, a lot of things are, there are certain elements, okay? Some demons require blood sacrifice on a regular basis during the course of the pact. Obviously, if you're squeamish about that, or you don't want to be doing that, my suggestion is, find a demon that will provide the type of pact that you're looking for, without blood sacrifice. Okay, there's plenty of them that accept flowers, water, alcohol, any type of, food sacrifice. But in addition to these normal things, they also require that you pay attention to their teachings, that you're going to be a mindful student, and that you will serve them in the physical plane, however not through any type of illegal activity, okay? So this can mean anything from, like, writing about them or talking about them, exchanging your ideas with other people, and letting them know what they're doing to aid you in your ascension, basically. Also, they require that you show a true dedication to wanting to change your life or your situations, in order to obtain the end result of your pact or your goal. And as I get into describing what pacts really are, you're going to find that there's actually quite a very common baseline between writing a pact and what it means to write a goal or goal setting. And we've heard that, we hear about this a lot in things like law of attraction, and you have a lot of these teachers that talk about, how to, achieve goals and write goals. And it really, a pact is really nothing more. You're still holding yourself accountable. You're wanting a specific idea or desire to come about, usually within a specific amount of time, and you're holding yourself accountable for it. And again, everything will kind of fall into place as I talk a little bit more. Okay, so pact making basically is a way, it's not a way to gain something for nothing. Okay, when you make a pact, you're stating that you want something. Sometimes, very badly, you have this burning desire that you want something, and that you're willing to sacrifice a part of yourself in order to obtain that desire. Um, Now, before you get in, your mind starts running amok and trying to figure out, what do you mean by you're willing to sacrifice something. Let's just go ahead and talk about the types of pacts that there are. Okay, so the first of all, the simplest pact is, you get something for little or no effort. And this is the type of pact that Hollywood likes to portray a lot, or what they say is, okay, well, all you gotta do is give me your soul, and I'm gonna give you, all this money, or, all the women you ever want, or, all the power, or, the rule of the world, or whatever. Okay, when you make this type of pact and you don't specify um, what it is that you're wanting or how to obtain it, you're basically telling the demon at this point, hey, it's okay to improvise as long as I get um, what it is that I'm looking for. It's okay. So, let's say you want lots of money, but you don't specify how how that money comes about or where it comes from, how it enters your life. In order to improvise this, the demon that you sign a pact with may simply say, oh, okay, well, you get into a bad car accident and you're now left paralyzed, or, paraplegic, or, now you have all this money that you've ever wanted, but now you're spending the rest of your days using this money to pay for your basic necessities. You're paying all these medical bills, getting regular medical care and assistance. Why? Because maybe you don't have family that can support you 24-hour days in the care that you need now. But hey, you got all the money that you wanted. Okay, so you really need to think of these pacts when you go about writing them. Is basically the bottom line here. Okay, the second type of pact that we're going to talk about is where you make a contract with yourself. And this could be something similar to saying, hey, I need to lose weight, I need to get healthy, I'm going to do something about this. Demons often work very well in this type of offering because they're very good at being a support and a guidance to you during this type of pact, because they're helping you, or having you, making sure that you are holding yourself accountable and you're seeing through to the end of this goal, or the end of this pact. Okay. The third type of pact is one that involves the obtaining of, we'll say, knowledge or spiritual enlightenment, or you want some type of instruction. Okay, here, you commit yourself to doing, the necessary amount of work in order to achieve your end goal. You don't exactly expect something for nothing, but, in the end, you're willing to do, a good amount of the lead work in order to receive it is what you're wanting. Okay, and of course the demon, in this case, they're assisting you in a number of ways. It could be that they assist you in understanding the material easier. They may guide you in some way, like let's say you're, I don't know, reading something on genetics or something like that. Some type of genetic medicine, and then you just happen to be strolling through downtown somewhere, or you're near a college campus, and you see, hey, they have a discussion, a speech going on at the campus on genetic research or something like that. They're there in order to point these things out to you and saying, hey, you might want to check this out. This is along your alley. This is what you're wanting to learn. There's some information. Why don't you go check it out? So it's kind of important for us to acknowledge those things in order for the demon to keep working for us through these pacts. Okay. And then finally, the fourth type of pact involves a very, very specific method or way of obtaining the end results of your pact or your goal. Okay, this you need to kind of really take stock of what your skills are in a sense. Okay, you don't need, for instance, you're not going to go out and say, hey, I want to be, a regional manager of, retail chain. We'll say like Hot Topic. Hey, I want to be a regional manager of Hot Topic, and you've never had a day of management experience in your life. You're not going to go ahead and become a regional manager. More than likely, you're not going to make $120,000 a year. You're not going to get all these stock options and all that because you don't have those skills available to you. So you really need to take stock of, maybe some of the skills that you have. Now, on another note, maybe someone's told you, or people have told you, hey, you have a great singing voice, and you go, okay, well, that's a good idea. You might want to develop that. You might want to develop that skill. So you go out and you know that you still have things you need to learn. You need to develop your singing voice. So you get vocal lessons. You get an instructor. You get a singing coach. You do what's necessary. You go to different lessons, and in the process, maybe your instructor or your coach or somebody says, hey, I noticed there's an open mic night at the local nightclub downtown. You might want to go check that out. Again, that's a opportunity that the demon is saying, hey, here's a way that you can showcase your talent. Go ahead and go do this. So these are just some of the some of the ways that the demons assist us in achieving our goals and our pacts. Okay, they help bring opportunities and influence things to happen more in our favor, so that different opportunities are presented in order to get to our end goal. Okay, now again, as I was talking about the idea of having a singing voice. Now let's say you have the opposite happen. Okay, for instance, you've never had a music lesson in your life. You don't know how to sing. Every time you try to carry a tune, you're off key and all that. But you say, hey, I'm going to be a vocal artist. Well, you have to understand that in this case, the demon actually realizes that you don't have anything to work with here. You have no talent, but you're saying that, hey, I'm going to become a vocal artist. Now, because of this, because this is your goal, and you made this pact, you now have very little choice in the matter. You have to see this project through to completion. Either your goal at the end of this pact, however you decide to make it, however long you decide to make it, is either going to be you're either going to gain some ground, or you're just going to say, well, I just suck at this. I need to do something else. Okay, this type of lesson is one of those that forces you to really observe and evaluate if this is really the type of goal that you want, and whether or not you want to continue to pursue it. So, the whole idea here is, or one of the main ideas is, you never want to give an opportunity for the demon to have to improvise in a pact, because when you do, you're asking for a world of hurt to happen. Okay, and I can promise you the story doesn't end well, and it's not full of sunshine and pink unicorns. Okay, pacts are really a way of helping us to understand, more about ourselves, what we're willing to do, what we're willing to hold ourselves accountable for, or what we're not willing to hold ourselves accountable for. And, the demonic force will always play that role to hold you accountable for what it is that you want. Okay, now some things that you could do though, obviously, you take stock of, all your skills and whatnot. Maybe you don't want a promotion, maybe all you need is a salary increase. Hey, that's fine, it's simple, very specific, you could say, hey, I need $1 increase, in my salary. It might happen, it might not, you might get a, bonus or something like that. You never know. Okay, but whatever you do, don't say or put in something crazy or vague like, hey, I just want to be happy. Okay, again, you're asking for trouble. You're likely to wind up yourself in an accident somewhere, and you end up receiving a lobotomy. Okay, hey, but think about it. It's like, hey, you got your happiness. Yeah, you had to wind up in an accident. Yeah, you got a lobotomy, but you're happy, right? All is said and done. So, don't be vague in your pacts. But being specific is the most important part. Okay. The next thing you need to do is you need to decide what you're willing to sacrifice to obtain your desires. Again, going back to the singing lessons, are you willing to hire that coach? Are you willing to, take those, lessons 2 times a week or 3 times a week? You got to spend that time traveling. You still got your job that you're doing on top of that. You're going to be away from, your kids, your loved ones, your family. You're not going to see them as much. Are you willing to put that much time and effort into obtaining the end goal of your pact? If not, you need to think of, what you are willing to sacrifice. The next part to making a pact is you need to appropriate this a specific demon. Okay, some demons are perfectly happy with accepting things, like I said, like flowers or alcohol, as payment for their guidance. And again, some require a regular blood sacrifice. You need to choose a demon that best suits the type of devotion you're comfortable with leading or doing on a regular basis over the life of this pact. Okay, next you need to decide what the demonic role is going to play. Okay, think of the demon as like your support staff. Okay, what is it that you expect them to provide you with? Do you want them to provide you with multiple opportunities or provide you with information? What is their role in the manifestation of your pact? You really need to decide on that. This isn't just one-sided, but pacts can also be written very simply or very articulately. But there are some factors you need to include into the pact, such as the demon's name and your name and what you're offering in exchange. When you do this, you want to be writing your pact in your ritual space. Okay. Once you've written your pact, you perform an invocation to the demon, and then you read your pact aloud. Okay. Once the demon is present, and all is said and done, you sign the pact in the presence of the demon, and then you add a blood print after your signature. That's basically stating that, hey, this is my pact, and I'm going to go for this. And then, of course, the final act of the pact is to burn it. And by burning it, what we end up doing is transforming our pact from a physical matter into that of energy. And make sure that when you're burning this, you're using a fireproof offering bowl in your ritual area. Okay, we don't want to be catching any fires here. So again, do you have to write a pact? Obviously, no. I've already covered that. But if you do want to write a pact, be certain that you honor it. Okay, because by breaking the pact and not providing offerings or um, paying attention to the opportunities that the demon presents to you over the course of the pact is basically insulting the demon at that point. Okay, if you don't uphold your part of the pact, don't expect that the demon is responsible for upholding theirs. Okay, the more that you ignore the demon and you don't uphold your part of the pact, the less and less support they're going to provide to you, and in the end, they'll literally just ignore you completely. So you really need to think this over a lot before you sign it into a pact. Okay. And finally, if you want some more information on demonic pacts, you can check out the book Demonic Pacts by Stephanie Connolly. That is available at Amazon.com. Also, you can check out the book of Mephisto, a Left-Hand Path Grimoire of the Faustian Tradition by Asenath Mason, which is available at bulg.co, and I will have the link down in my description there. And one more book is Lucifuge, the Lord of Pacts by E.A. Coedding, also available through bulg.co, again, in the description down below there. And with that, folks, I appreciate your time and your patience in this extra long video this evening. Do take care, and as always, infernal blessings, and have a good night.